Namaste, everybody. Welcome to Joy Yoga Friday filming, free Friday class, free Friday flow. I hope this day finds you well. What a beautiful, sunny and crisp morning it is here in Gippsland. So thank you for those who are joining me here live. And welcome to those of you who managed to catch up a little later. So things are beginning to loosen up a little bit. We're beginning to find this gentle expanding energy. We've been given a few liberties, a few more liberties. You know, it's sort of like beginning to be a global releasing. I know there's in some countries like India, they're still very in strong lockdown. But here in Australia, things are beginning to loosen up. So I find it interesting of how we're going to step out of this time of retreat and how our yoga practice can help support the way that we might like to step out. So hopefully, you know, that's a helpful sort of mirroring of how life is and how we can approach life. So today in practice, hi Anna, Lynn, nice to see you. Today we're going to step cautiously and with great awareness through our practice. We're going to keep plenty of grounding down without opening up. So we're going to stay nice and grounded, nice and connected, nice and aware as we open up. So that's the general theme of today's class. So I always go over time, so I'm not going to muck about too much this morning. I'm going to try and get going. So we're going to start standing. Might just need to make some adjustments for that. Sitting and standing, two different adjustments. Cool. So come to stand, if you like, at the top of your mat or in the middle of your mat. And here we just take a moment to find our feet and to feel the steady, supportive earth beneath us. Let's just place our hands so they're in line with our elbows, palms are facing up. Relax the shoulders. And as you come to find your place here, just allow all the joints to be relaxed. Begin to deepen your breath, drawing the breath in, perhaps through the nose, and releasing the breath out through the mouth if you feel you need to. And we're going to have this imagery that we drink the breath in through the crown of our head. Pull the inhalation down through the spine and down through the legs, out through the feet and into the earth beneath us. And as we exhale, we're going against that gravitational pull and drawing the earth energy up through the feet, the legs, the spine, and out through the crown. So just a few rounds as we really sink through the whole of the body, inhaling down the spine, the legs, the feet into the earth, connecting ourselves with earth energy, the Apana Vayu. And the inhale as it rides up from the earth, through the legs, the spine, the crown, the Prana Vayu. So we're finding that working with these opposing elements, these opposing forces, the opposite energies is helpful in keeping in the center. Helpful in coming to the middle ground and to our place of strength and balance. Then on an exhale, allow the hands to drop down to the sides. Turn the palms out so they're facing away from you. And inhale, reach the arms out and up overhead. And as you exhale, you can turn your toes out a little bit, bend the knees, press the hands down to the earth as if you're trying to press down on some boxes or something. And then inhale, straighten the legs, arms reach out and up. Exhale, grounding down, allowing the buttocks to drop down, knees to bend, and hands to push down to the earth, grounding your subtle energy. Inhale, reaching out and up. Exhale, grounding down. So this is the opening aspect as we inhale. Hurrah, some freedom. But let's keep contained. Exhale, ground yourself in that moment. Let's not get carried away. Inhale, reaching up once again. And exhale, grounding down. Feel it through the whole of your body. Feet connected to the earth and the feet connected to the rest of your body. Let's inhale, and this time we're going to Om as we exhale. So, Om. We'll repeat that 2 more times, cleaning out the etheric body through the healing Om. Last inhale. And as you inhale, just straightening the legs, relaxing there for a moment and feeling into the vibrational tone around you and within you. Awareness is the key. Awareness is the key to our practice, but awareness is the key to our life, and awareness is the key to stepping back into our new reality. So let's come to the top of our mat. Coming to stand with your feet at hip distance. Hands just resting alongside the body. Shoulders relaxed. If you need to wriggle out or move out anything, please do. Take a breath there. And as you're ready, we turn the palms out again. We inhale and reach up, and there can be a bending of the knees there as we reach the arms up. And keep the knees bent as you take the arms out and bring your chest forward and down. So we're coming into a fold. Release the hands to the legs or the floor. Release the head completely so you can just release through the spine and the neck. You might even try half lifting and straightening those legs out a little bit as you half lift. If you'd like some blocks for this support, please take it. Meant to say blocks are going to be handy for today's practice. And then soften the knees, bend the knees and refold down. Releasing the arms and the head. You might like to bend into the legs even more deeply. Scoop yourself up from your belly to your heart. Take the arms out to the side, coming up with a flat back. Press the feet into the earth to straighten those legs as you open your heart to the sky. And exhale, hands come to the heart center, connecting us to this powerful wisdom source. Let the hands drop, let the knees bend. Take an inhale, keep the knees bent as the arms reach up to the sky, keeping yourself grounded through those bent legs. And as you exhale, opening the heart between the arms as they spread like wings, and you come forward and down with a flat back. Release the head and the arms completely to wherever is comfortable for you. Half lift on the inhale, and as you do, straighten those legs, lengthen the spine, Bring the hands in support onto the shins or the knees. And then exhale, bending those knees again, releasing the torso over the thighs, relaxing the head and shoulders completely. And again, bend the knees or drop the buttocks a little bit more. Scoop up from belly to heart. Arms open up like wings. Press the feet into the floor and let that pressing straighten the legs. Arms overhead. You might even like to look this time. And exhale, bringing the hands back to your wisdom center, Anahata, the heart chakra. Hands release, knees bend. Last round. Keep the knees bent, keep grounded. Inhale, reach up. You can even look up if you like here. Exhale, open your heart, your wings, and dive down through the arms, straightening the legs as you go. Maybe not completely straight, but maybe a little straighter than they were. Half lift. Straighten the legs as best you can. Lengthen the spine. Get long through both lines of the body, back of the body, and exhale to fold. Relaxing, bend the knees, release the head and shoulders, scooping our way up again. Drop the buttocks deeper. Scoop up from the belly to the heart and push the legs, the feet into the earth to get yourself out of there. Growing like a seedling grows out of the ground, and exhale, hands together back to prayer. And you might just take a moment there, cultivating and developing your awareness, your internal awareness here, rather than the external awareness, becoming aware of the changes, your breath, your heartbeat. And then releasing the hands down. We're going to inhale, reach the arms out and up. Keep the legs straight and strong this time. Feet press into the ground. And as we exhale, the arms come out wide again. We lift the right knee and we just, we're going to grab hold of the knee with the hands. So if you can stand there, we're going to just hold the leg and rotate the ankle a few times. And then we're going to inhale, lift the arms over our head as we reach the right leg back behind us, pointing our toe like a little bit like a ballerina. And as we exhale, we coil in, draw the knee in, let the hands come and gently touch the knee, and then inhale, reach the arms up and over, the leg comes behind us. Exhale, drawing in. Inhale, reach behind, lengthen the arms up, and exhale here. Back hands over the knees. Squeeze the thigh in, squeeze the leg into the torso as you press that left foot into the earth. And then just slowly exhale, release, ground down. You might like a little heel lift of the left foot if there was some tightness coming into the effort of that left calf. Then place the heel back down. Take a breath. Turn the palms out. Inhale, reach the arms up and over. As you exhale, weight comes into the right foot. Lift the left leg. Bring the arms down so they arrive at around the knee of the left leg. Rotate a few times the left ankle in both directions. And then we inhale, reach the arms up and over. The leg goes back. Point the toes behind you. You can hover or you can place the toes onto the floor, so whatever works for you. Inhale, knee in, hands reach, and exhale. Lengthen the leg back, arms overhead. Inhale, knee up, arms to the knee, and exhale. Back behind you and up. Inhale, hands to knee, exhale. Back behind you. Last one. Inhale here, a little squeeze once again, get strong in that right leg. Take one more inhale from the right foot to the crown and exhale, step back with the left leg. Take an inhale and sweep the arms forward and up. That back heel can be lifted here, so we're in like a high lunge rather than a warrior one pose. And exhale, bend the elbows and pull down a pretend T-bar behind you. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. And lift the hip a little bit here, and as you exhale, ground down. Make it pull that imaginary T-bar down behind the head. Strengthening here. Drop the hips as you do. Inhale, last one. Arms reach forward and up, and we're little lifting the hip and the back heel, and then we ground down as we strengthen. Offer your strength to the earth. Pull everything down towards the earth. Last one, oh well, it is the last one there. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. As you exhale, take the right hand to the right hip and just lean towards the right hand side. Now, as you lean towards the right hand side, I want you to kick more strongly into that left heel. Open up that left gate of the psoas of that left thigh, front hips. And if you need to, you can bend that back knee a little bit if it's not suiting your lower back or anything, so please take care of yourself. Take one more breath there as you open up that left gate of the body. Use the next inhale to come back to the center with the right arm coming up in line with the left. And as you exhale, suck in the lower belly, bend the back knee, and begin to drop your hips and knee down, bringing that right knee forward. We're just going to place the left knee onto the earth. Hands come down. You can have a couple of blocks on either side of your foot. Please make any adjustments that you need. Inhale, pull back that right hip. And as you exhale, come forward, but let the knee fall out to the side so the knee is on the outer edge of your right elbow. And then inhale, pull back. And exhale, coming out with the knee as you come forward, dropping the hips back in. Inhale, pull back. And exhale, come forward and hold. Just going to make an adjustment here. I don't think you can see me so well. This new phone is, it's got a different lens. It's a little harder for me to film for some reason. So we're holding there. I want you to press back into that back foot. Press that back foot firmly into the floor. And let that open up your heart a little bit here. You can take the left hand a little out to the left side so it's not in alignment with your shoulder, and bring the right hand to the right knee. And once again, press the back foot into the floor. Open up the heart. Breathing here. And then just gently release, bring the hand to the floor. Inhale, pull back slowly and carefully. We're going to just come back forward, so we're into a straight lunge, not with the knee out. Take that right foot back behind you. Walk your knees a little further away from your hands so you have a really nice wide angle. And you use an exhalation excuse me, and roll the sit bones up and drop the heart to the earth. And then coil up on the inhale like a cat pose. And as you exhale, round the sit bones up and drop the heart down. So I'll tuck my top in so you can see properly. I like this. I'm wearing Delamay's little top here, Delamay DV top. And I've made myself a little tail. This is perfect for our cat poses. We inhale, roll up and forward, rounding through the spine. And we exhale and roll the sit bones up, drop the heart down, lift the chest and chin a little. And once again, inhale, coiling up And exhale, sucking in that lower belly, offering your heart to the earth. Forehead can rest if it can, or on a block if it can't, or just hovering in line with the arms. Breathing here. And then as you're ready, inhale, coming up. You might want to sneak your hands a little closer to your body. And as you exhale, we're going to lift the feet and slowly see what we've got. We can begin to drop the thighs down, lift from the belly into the chest, begin to draw the elbows down in towards the ribs and just lay the thighs and hip to the earth. You can go all the way down to the floor if this is uncomfortable. Have a little rotation of the feet there. And then inhale. Push back up. If you're down, exhale all the way. Let's widen those hips and come all the way down. Buttocks to heels. Take a breath. And with those nice wide knees, thighs nice and wide, we're going to press those hands firmly into the ground at shoulder distance. So you feel as you press the hands into the earth, this engagement in under the arms. In the underarms is what I'm saying, not under the arm, but the actual underarm. Press, 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 press. And then keep pressing and coil up, tuck the tail under, begin to come up. Keep the knees that wide. And once again, the big toes are touching, and we're going to lift the feet off the floor and repeat what we just did. Elbows can begin to bend to allow the heart to open up through the arms. We begin to drop the hips forward and down. You can let the knees slide back away from you if that's more comfortable for you, and then just drop down into a back bend of your choice. And then pushing out once again. This time tuck the toes under at hip distance, lift the knees off the floor and begin to lift the sit bones high. Walk your feet into the perfect place for you to come into a comfortable Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. You can have a little wag of the tail, a little play. If you have socks on, actually, at this point, it might be quite a good idea to take them off. I'm going to commit to that myself, even though it's been pretty fresh this morning. We're going to lift that right leg up into the air on an inhale. You can be on your knees in cat if you would prefer. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift the leg up a little higher perhaps. Exhale, knee to nose. And again, inhale, lift the foot, the leg, rotate the ankle 3 times in each direction. Then bend the knee, so drop the heel in towards the buttocks, and then open the hip up by lifting the thigh away from the floor. Keep pressing particularly into that right arm, that right hand, pressing strongly into the floor, and then release and letting that right foot come alongside the left. And then we inhale, extend the left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, last one, lifting up, holding there, reaching up. Rotate your ankle 3 times in each direction. Bend the knee and open the hip up by lifting the thigh away from the floor. Take a breath there as you inhale. And as you exhale, bring the left foot in between the hands at the top of the mat. Get yourself comfortable for lift off, so widen your stance or shorten it in any way that you need. Press into that front foot and inhale, rise. Arms come up overhead. A little lift in the hips as we arrive. Exhale, ground down, bending the elbows, pulling your T-bar back down. Inhale, arms forward and up. A little lift in the hip and back heel. And exhale as you ground the hips down, press that heel away from you and drop the arms down and pulling your T-bar with you. Inhale, lift, and exhale, ground. Inhale, lift. Keep the hands where they are. Exhale, ground the hips. And then drop that left hand to the left hip. Reach up from that back heel to the top fingers and exhale, dip to the left. Press the back heel away from you and the front knee forward. So there's the opposing force there. Opening up through the right side of the body. Take an inhale as you reach the left arm to meet the right in the middle. And as you exhale, suck in the lower belly, drop the hips down as you take the right knee to the earth. And exhale, release the hands to the floor or to blocks on either side of your foot. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, let the left knee fall out to the left side. So the ankle and wrist cross over. Inhale, pull back, so straightening the left leg. And exhale, rock forward. Inhale, pull back that left hip. And exhale, let the knee fall out to the side. Let's hold there. Press that right foot into the floor as you arrive. So the left ankle and wrist are crossing over. So the hand is on the outer edge of that left foot. But the knee is also on the outer edge of the arm. Breathing here, pressing that back foot into the floor, opening the heart up. Opening up that back hip. And then we're going to take the right hand a little further out, so it's misaligned under the shoulder, further out from the shoulder. And if you can, lift up from your hip, from your belly, so you can not just hang into the hip there, but really sort of have some sense of buoyancy here as you open the heart, bring the left hand to the knee, and just gently encourage the opening of that left hip. You're going to need to perhaps squeeze that right hip in and up a little so you're not overstretching the psoas muscle at the back. So keep integral here. We want to build our awareness, we want to cultivate that understanding and to actually listen and not push through anything, but just to adjust through your intuition of what is right for you, or maybe a slight change from what I say is perfect. And then releasing so you come back. Both hands on either side. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee and step back into downward facing dog once again. So pedal out or walk out your dog, pedaling the feet. It's making yourself comfortable again. Maybe you want to bend both knees and wag your tail. That psoas muscle just had a pretty strong stretch. So we're going to bring our feet a little closer in towards each other into the middle. We use an inhale to lift the left leg slowly up into the air. Open up the hip by bending the knee and lifting the thigh away from the floor. Press into the left hand in particular. Try and keep a little lift in the arch of that right foot. And then release that left foot down to the right. And then repeat. Inhale, lift the left leg slowly up towards the sky. Press that right hand into the floor in particular. Bend the knee and open open the hip up, lifting the thigh away from the floor. Keep particularly firm with the right hand pressing into the earth. Take a breath there. Reach up to the knee really here. And as you exhale, coil in, bringing that right foot all the way forward to the hands. To start with, keep the toes lifted, the top of the foot lifted and just on the ball of your foot. Bend the back knee as you pull back into that right hip. And then straighten the back leg and bend the front knee as we come into the high lunge. It's not high lunge, it's runner's lunge. Drop the back heel to the floor, so swivel on the ball of your foot, drop the heel to the floor. Your right hand is going to come up the right leg somewhere as we straighten that right knee and inhale, reach the left arm across the chest and up towards the sky. Try and straighten that front leg as best as you can. Push from the heel into the floor, all the way pushing into the hip, the thigh bone, locking itself back into, I don't really want to lock it so much, but it has that sort of feeling of being, locked in a way. Breathing here, lengthening from tail to crown, from hand to hand, from foot to hip. That's in both our left and right legs. So we're making the beautiful star shape. And we're going to take an inhale, reach into that left hand. Exhale as you take the arm over your ear, so it's in one long line with the hip to the hand now. And then as you exhale, reach the arm forward and across in front of you to the hip. And then inhale, forward and back up overhead. Exhale, pushing forward and across and back to the hip. And inhale, sweeping back overhead, all the way, full circle. Take the arm back behind you and then to the back hip. We're going to bend that front knee, tuck in that left heel a little bit, and as we straighten the front leg again, we're going to bend into the back leg, taking the left hand onto the knee. If we can, the right hand is on the on the ankle, and the left hand is on the left knee. And we're going to straighten that back leg, bend into the front one, and then straighten the front leg and bend into the back one. And just repeat it a couple of times. And then push back and hold. So the back knee, the left knee is bent. We've got hold of our leg with our left hand. We're hanging onto our ankle, or we could be on the thigh with our elbow, with the right leg and hand, and just stretching there for a moment. Coming to straighten that back leg, take the left hand to a block or the floor in the middle between the feet as we turn the right toes in. So both our feet are facing the length of our mat. Our left hand is directly under the chest in the middle of us. It's on a block or it's on the floor, whichever works for you. We're going to press that hand into the block of the floor as we either reach up with the right hand, or you can place that right hand onto your hip and just hold yourself there with the elbow and shoulder just gently opening up. Or into the full pose where we lengthen the arm up towards the ceiling. And here I want you to feel into the 4 directions once again. North, south, east, west, that axle of the body. So finding the lines that, like the rays of the sun, that come out from the mid of your body with integrity. You know, rays of the sun, they don't do spiral actions, they don't do, slightly bent off. They do straight lines beaming from the center. And as you exhale, take that right hand, bring it back down. Turn all the way around. So you turn the left toes out 90 degrees, swivel on the ball of the right foot and lift the heel off. We're going to bend that front knee and come into lift off. So inhale, rise, arms come up and over. Exhale, T-man once again, so pulling the T-bar down, press into the back heel, bend into the front knee. Inhale, arms forward and up, and let the hip and that back heel lift a little to make this nice and light. And then exhale as we ground back down, so we're finding our opposing forces here. Inhale, lifting, lightly reaching up, a little like a feather being caught in a gust of wind. And then we exhale and ground down, not like a feather anymore, something stronger. Inhale, maybe a big fat leaf is falling to the ground, because we don't want it to like thud. We really want to have that beautiful updraft of the prana vayu, and then the exhale, this gliding down of the apana vayu, the grounding energy. Inhale, rise, keep the hands where they are. Exhale, drop the hips down. Take one more inhale. You might even like to look a little up. Be firm in both feet if you're doing that. And exhale as you take the left hand to the left hip and just dip a little to the left hand side, opening up the right gate of the body. Breathe. Kick into the back heel. Reach it away. If you need to have that back knee bent, that's also okay. And bring that front knee forward. And then we release, we're coming out, we drop that back heel to the floor. I think I did something a little wrong here, but that's okay. We're just going to allow that left arm to drop down to the left ankle or shin, wherever it's most comfortable for you. Make both your feet super comfy. And lift up through that right arm. I think we did an extra on this side, but that's okay. Breathing here, finding the four corners, four directions, I should say, of your body. North, south, east, west. We're actually going for more like the 8 directions. There's 6 directions here. Take an inhale as you reach into the right fingers, and as you exhale, let the arm drop down in line with the ear. From finger to hip, find from fingers to hip, from hip to heel in that back foot. So try and find that nice line on that right side of the body. That's the opening side. The left side is the strengthening, holding side. So find the 2 different types of energy there. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, take the arm forward and across the body in front of you to the back hip. And then inhale, sweep it back across and over. And exhale, back down, in front of you and down. And inhale, sweep it across and over. Open the heart a little as you get there. And then sweeping it back across, hand to the hip, tuck in, bend the front knee a little bit first, tuck in that back hip, and begin to bend the back knee as you straighten the front leg. This hand can then just glide along to the knee, the right hand to the right knee, and then we straighten the back leg and bend the front one again. And then back we go, bending the back knee, straightening the front leg, and then pushing forward, and then back. And then forward, and then back. Holding here for a moment. You can drop that left shoulder in a little bit here so your heart feels like it's wanting to turn to the right thigh. And then just straighten both legs out a little bit as you tuck the left toes in. Bring your left hand into the center. I suspect that's wrong. It's going to be the right hand now to the center. You can have the hand on a block. Inhale, begin to press the hand into the floor. And you can reach that left arm up to the ceiling or just place it onto your hips. Keep a nice lift through the arch of that right foot so you can feel the lift up into the inner right groin. Keeping the hips fairly even here. Breathing. Finding your 4 directions. Take one more breath from hand to hand. And as you exhale, releasing the hand down to the earth. You can take a half lift here. I can't believe I had so many more things we were going to do or working towards something. It's not going to happen. Anywho, it's okay. It's enough, right? So we want to keep rolling those hip bones up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing the feet into the floor at the same time. Find the weight in your heels and then let it roll out from the heels to the outer edge of your feet, to the ball of your feet, all of it evenly pressing. And feel that little lift in the arch of your foot. As you begin to roll the sit bones up, you'll feel this enlivening in the inner groins, yeah? This opening of the hips there. We're half lifting, so hands can be on blocks or hands to the floor with a flat back. And then we can exhale and begin to soften all the joints. So bending the elbows, bending the knees if you need to, folding at the hips, releasing through the shoulders, neck, head, spine. Keep working as you release and relax through the torso. Keep working strongly through the legs, the feet, grounding down and lifting and rolling up into our hips, into our sit bones. So we're really just folding ourselves over our hips like you might place a cardigan or a shawl over the back of a chair. Half lift when you're ready on an inhale. And as you exhale, you can turn your way all the way to the front of the mats. We're going to bend the front knee, back knee as well, and lean into that back leg so you can push forward with complete control to bring the left foot in line with the right. Half lift again. On the inhale, exhale, soften the knees, fold over your hips, release the head. You might even like to tuck your hands in under the soles of your feet. So the palms of your hands meet the soles of your feet. You can have your knees as bent as you need for that. Some of you might be able to do a little half lift as you straighten the back of the legs, lift the heart. And as you exhale, you could try keeping the knees straight and bending the elbows. Otherwise, you are having both the knees bent, maybe the elbows are straight, the knees are bent, maybe both are bent. It doesn't really matter. You're in your own home, you're in your own body, and you're in your own practice. So everything is perfect just the way you're doing it. And then we half lift again, releasing ourselves out of there. And bend the knees nice and deeply again. Begin to get active in the lower belly and in the buttocks, so you can once again scoop yourself up with a flat back, reaching up, straightening the legs as you press the feet into the floor. Hands meet overhead. We use the exhalation to guide our hands back down to our heart. Hands to chest. Relaxing here for a moment and witnessing. Being the witness to your state. An impartial viewing of your state. This is an important aspect to learn, this impartial viewing. Particularly as we begin to step back into life, we need to have this very clear understanding between what is right and wrong, what feels right now and what doesn't feel so right anymore. We begin to really practice this on the mat. We can really cultivate this first here in this nice container that we build for ourselves in our practice, you know, being able to comfortably and with a sense of safety cultivate this ability to see things as they are. So witnessing it in your body first. What is real for you, this impartial viewing. Turn your toes out. Widen the heels if you need to, so we're about shoulder distance. Drop the hands to the side of your body. Use the next inhalation to open your wings wide. Let the chest slightly lift in celebration to the sky. And as you exhale, coil into your center. Draw everything you've got into your belly center. Begin to allow the weight to drop into your feet as you bend the knees and allow your buttocks to slide down your imaginary wall as we slowly come down. You can lift your heels as you get closer and closer if you need to, down into our squat. Relaxing, releasing, hands tuck in now into the inner thighs. Just taking a moment there if you can. We won't be here long. If you need to, you stretch the arms out in front of you. You begin to lift the buttocks and press everything into the center and then coil so you can come to sit down with ease. Otherwise, you take your hands behind you, you support yourself and come and sit down that way. We're just going to pistol grip our big toes if we can. Grab hold of the ankles if we can't. Knees and heels, or knees and feet together. We're lifting up. We want to really lift from the buttocks to the heart. Heels are in line with the knees. Shoulders being drawn back into their sockets. The heart is lifting up to the sky. And that could be your pose, just here holding. Lift that lower belly. Draw it in and up and find that nice, long, straight spine, preferably not rounding like this, you know, and our arm bones being pulled out of the sockets, but really engaging from the core up into the center of your heart. Arms are being drawn back into the shoulders tucking back into themselves. And for some of you, you may be able to straighten the legs, really kick into the ball of the big toe, and so you'll feel the balls pulling back, and they want to pull the arms back out of their socket. So once again, we pull the arms back into the socket to resist that overstretching, and all the joints integral here. can handle it. And then we slowly bend the knees. We're going to hug the knees into the body. And if you can, vertebra by vertebra, we're going to just play with it, trying to find our way back down to the earth. Hugging the knees in, opening the arms nice and wide. Drop the soles of the feet to the floor so they're as wide as the mat. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, just allow the knees to drop down to one side. It doesn't matter which side. Let the head drop into the opposite. Take a few breaths here. And then slowly, as you're ready, you inhale and let the knees and head come back to the center. The exhalation, and almost in slow motion, is going to allow us to drop down to the opposite sides, just adjusting any micro adjustments that are required. Use an exhalation to surrender more fully into the earth. Keep an eye on your natural breath, or deepened breaths if you would prefer. I can't see myself anymore, so I hope you can see me okay. And then using once again an inhalation to come back to the center with the head and the knees. Hug those knees in once again. You might like a little play of the ankles from, a little rotation from left to right a few times. And then let's just, keeping the knees, thighs, feet together, open the arms up once again. Take an inhale and drop the knees down to one side with the feet lifted this time. And the legs staying together. And do that in slow motion until you find the floor with your thigh. Turn the head into the opposite directions if that feels good for you. Otherwise, you can just remain with the face up towards the ceiling. Try and keep that right shoulder, the opposite shoulder engaged to the earth. So if your twisting doesn't allow the knees to come down all the way to the floor because it lifts the opposite shoulder, then just take a block or a cushion and place that under the knees so you can keep grounded through the shoulders. Couple of deep breaths here, focusing a little bit more now on the exhalations. And then as you're ready, you move back to the center, both with the head and the knees. Try and keep the legs together as you do that. Slow motion again, dropping down to the other side on the exhalation. Try and resist the floor as you go. Using that gravitational pull as a way of strengthening yourself. So we resist gravitational pull in order to strengthen. Have something under the knees if your left, the opposite shoulder then lifts off the floor. And completely surrender once you arrive in comfort. Just let go of any efforting, really at the end of the class now. So we really want to focus on the exhalations, on the releasing, and on the act of surrender. Just be aware of the features of your face. Make sure that they're soft so they inform the rest of your body. inhalation to come up, back to the center. Place both feet back down onto the floor. Maybe just for a moment, allow those knees to fall wide and the soles of the feet come together. If this is a little uncomfortable, there's a couple of things you can do. One, if you have blocks or cushions, you can place them underneath the thighs or calves or knees. Otherwise, press those feet into each other firmly. Really use this pressing into each other as a way of controlling the opening of the hips, and that way we don't overstretch and then get locked into something that feels uncomfortable and we can't easily get out of. So really pressing those feet into each other. And you might just even press, press, press and hold, and then let go and see how that feels in the hips. See how that allows the hips to release. Even if it was a little sticky before, a little uncomfortable, that might actually just make the difference between not being able to do it and being able to do it. A couple more breaths there, focusing on your exhalations. And then as you're ready, you press those feet into each other again. Squeeze them in and then begin to squeeze those knees towards each other, coming up and into the center. And then just straighten the legs out along the mat to opposite corners of your mat. You might like to tuck those shoulder blades in towards each other a little bit. Actually, if you need anything on to keep you warm, please just, grab a blanket or pop your socks back on, or a little shawl over your top. Try not to disturb yourself too much as we come to rest and Shavasana. Let the feet fall out to either side. Let the arms be along the floor with the palms facing up, not too close to the body, and those shoulder blades tucked in a little towards each other so we can really have this sense of open-heartedness. Allowing the feet to turn out to either side also allows this sense of openness through the hips, releasing any tension. You might like to have this wave breath again as we did at the beginning of class, but rather than coming from the top of the body down to the feet, we can come inhaling, sweeping up from the feet to the top. And as we exhale, this washing away from the crown all the way down to the feet. So the inhalation is like the wave coming into the shore, washing over the entirety of your body to the crown, to the head, and then exhale, washing back down like the wave being drawn back into the ocean. Please make sure that the features of your face are really relaxed here now. Letting go of any tension around the eyes, the forehead, the temples, the cheeks. Release any tension in the jaw, even the chin. And let both your upper and lower lips be relaxed. Let the eyeballs rest back into the sockets and the tongue to rest back into the mouth. just let gravity have that magnetizing effect on all your muscles, skin and bones of your body, just completely surrendering. See if you can just let go of all tension, all contraction, any holding on or gripping. So all you become aware of is the more subtle aspects, perhaps the breath flowing uninhibited through the body. Trying to focus the mind so it stays on the experience of the subtle realms of your being, the subtle energy forms. And again, observing impartially on how it feels to be you just in this very moment. So just drinking that in for the last few moments. Being a witness to how you are. And as you're ready, slowly filling in the breath more deeply into the body. Not gaining any tension as you do this, as you begin to allow more prana, the life force, more deeply into the body. Do that with the act of surrender, with the act or the attitude of receiving the breath into your body, into your being. And just allowing breath by breath that to begin to animate or enliven or inspire you. And that can look like whatever you want it to look like. It doesn't have to be wriggling of the toes and fingers and the very, normal way of coming out of Shavasana. That might just be rolling to one side and very gently coming out. Coming to sit together once again as you're ready. And not being in a rush to leave the inner states, the inner experience. But even as you come to sit, holding steady with that inner witnessing. This is one of the tricks that we have with yoga, that we can engage in life and at the same time remain inwardly aware and focused. So you might like to come to sit in a comfortable seated position and placing the hands in prayer at the heart center, keeping the eyes closed and the internal drishti gaze inward. The impartial witnessing, impartial witnessing. So I'm going to give a chant to close class off. I'm going to repeat this chant 3 times, and you can join me at the end with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. This chant is an offering to humanity. It is a chant to help with preserving life, preserving our mortality. And so we're asking Shiva for his protection. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Shugandim Pushti Vardhanam Urdvarukami Vabandana Myrtyo Mukshi Yamamrata Ate. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Shugandim Pushti Vardhanam Urdhva Mukami Babandhanam Myrtyo Mukshi Yamamrata Ate. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Shugandim Pushti Vardhanam Urdhva Kami Vibandhanam Myrtyo Mukshi Yamamrita Ate. And together, inhale. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everybody. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you got something out of it. I still managed to be 10 minutes late. I really tried hard. And I seriously just cut so many things out of what I had in my head to offer. So anyway, I hope you get this sense of grounding down while opening up, using that gravitational or the opposing forces as a way of creating strength within us and keeping a sense of balance and equilibrium. Please let me know if there were any problems seeing a new camera. So I couldn't see so well when I was on the floor, so I hope everything was okay there. But any problems or things that really worked or didn't work for you, I would love to hear from you. Enjoy this beautiful sparkly day. And I all hope you have a terrific weekend. I'd love to hear from all of you. Oh, and by the way, next week I'm starting some Zoom classes. So I have 3 Zoom classes starting on Tuesday morning, Australian time. Nice to see you here, Jane. I'm really glad that you could make it this morning, because I don't know, is it evening your time over there in the US? I'm not sure, but it's so nice to see you here. So I don't know what time my classes are for, different people around the world, but 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning, and then I have a Wednesday evening chill class and a Saturday morning refine class. So that's going a little bit more back to the basics. So if you want to, you can have a look on my events here on Facebook, or you could, I don't even think I've got it on my website. Damn, naughty girl. If you're on my newsletter, it'll be on my newsletter. If you're not on my newsletter, go to my website, www.joyyoga.com.au, and you'll be able to link onto my newsletter there. Otherwise, just get in touch and I'll be able to send you a link. Anyway, I hope to see some of you there. It's just a 6-week course while I get myself sorted to see what is going to work for everybody. So lots of love to you all. Thank you so much for joining. Namaste.